Hello my dear friends and welcome back to my channel. I have a review for you today of a Homeworx candle, and I don't think that I've reviewed anything from a Homeworx on this channel up to this point. There's a reason for that. I did try Homeworx several years ago. I want to say like 3, 4, maybe a little bit more, I don't know. And I didn't love them. I encountered them at Ulta for the first time because I was a big Ulta shopper at the time. I still kind of am to some extent. And they used to have the Homeworx candles in the Ulta stores. Usually they were on this stand right by the door, and they had like beautiful offerings for the holiday season, for fall, and then for the spring as well. Maybe it was just like 1 year, 2019, I don't know what. And so I bought a lot of them during that particular period, and I did burn them. I didn't like the way that they burned. I thought they burned so quick and so dirty. The soot that would come off of them, man, you could see it. It was like soot central. The wicks were falling down. It just was not, oh man, so much wax. It was not a pleasant burn. And sometimes the throw I thought was not great. I do have one candle from that particular period, which was this one, Guava Sunset. And I love Guava Sunset. I think I ended up, when all was said and done, like buying 5 of them. And this is the very last one that I have that I started to burn, but then quickly stopped and was like, I'll keep it forever. Gosh, I love Guava Sunset. I really do. Very similar to Coconut Milk Mango from Illume, which I keep talking about and I will definitely review, but really special. And so I hoarded this one away, and I really hope Homeworx comes back with this at some point, because I do think that one of their great strengths is doing tropical-ish fragrances. And I do have a tropical-ish fragrance for you today, which is Tiare Sunrise. I apologize. Sunrise. And this is an old one. I think this has probably been in their collection for like 4 years at least, maybe more. And so definitely not new. You may be aware of it. I picked this up at Marshall's, as you can see. I picked this up at Marshall's because it was one of those Marshall's candles, and I love the way it smelled. So it came home with me, $16.99. Fantastic candle. This is so special, and I'm really happy to remind you of this candle if you're familiar with it already as a Homeworx person, or if you are not, to remind you that Harry Slatkin does some amazing things. And while they've had a rough year and a half, I don't think we can take away from him the fact that many of his fragrances and his offerings are just so great. So let's get into it. I stopped burning the Homeworx after the Ulta thing. They stopped showing up in Ulta stores, and I just decided Homeworx wasn't for me, sought out other things. And then like the last year and a half have been terrible. Oh my gosh. And I can tell, like, the Homeworx people, even the fans were really upset the last couple years with strength, with throw, with performance, and then of course the debacle with the website at the end of the holiday season last year was terrible for the company, terrible for a lot of fans. And I remember thinking at the time, well, I'm glad I didn't get on that train. And the hell if I'm gonna get on it now. And here we are on the train. I'm still gonna be super cautious about when and where and how I purchase Homeworx, but I've decided that it's not right to boycott the company for any reason. And this candle at Marshall's reminded me of that. So Tiare Sunrise, it's been out for a while. The notes on it are tiare flower, honeysuckle, jasmine, vanilla, and gardenia. So a lot of florals in there, which should be overwhelming, but it's really not. There is something bright and light about the fragrance despite all of those florals. I think the vanilla is helping. It's giving it a little bit of creaminess. There's a pop and a fruitiness to this fragrance that I just love. This candle is actually very similar to a couple that I'm going to review and that I've kind of teased over the last couple weeks, which is the Village Candle Tahitian Twist, which is actually also Soleil All Day, the big yellow one, very similar to this. And then the Stonewall Home, I want to say it's Ocean Dunes, also very similar to this. And I've been burning all three of them. But for me, I really like this one the best of all three. And I'm not too small to admit it. This was incredible. There's something very fruity about the tropical flowers that came across a little bit like a cross between banana and kiwi. It wasn't like quite pineapple, but there was that really sweet, acidic kind of tropical fruit feel to it. But then it was cut with this like creamy fruit that seemed almost a little banana-like. And certainly the vanilla is helping with that. And these are just, they're very, it's a very nuanced thing. Like you're not going to smell it and immediately think like banana and kiwi. It's kind of like those people who taste wine, you know, professionally. And they're like, I'm getting a little bit of charcoal. I'm getting a little bit of raspberries. You're looking at your wine and you're like, I think I just got wine. I'm not smelling any of that. It's in that category. It's a very like subtle nuance, but the fruitiness is there. And I think that that fruitiness really takes this candle to a special place. Whereas the other two from Village and from Stonewall respectively, although they're very similar in their floral profile, just don't have that fruity pop that takes it to a really special place. This burned great. So I'm down pretty far. I don't want it to end. And at this point, like it's even getting like a little bit sooty just from the carbon residue that has dropped into the candle. And you're gonna get a lot of that in Homeworx candles because there's 4 wicks, they burn hot. And you're gonna get carbon stuff in there. So the scent has even started to like shift a little bit and I still can't bear not burning it. The pour date on this one is January of 2023. So it's a very recent pour and I was happy with the strength and throw on it. I want to say that it got up to about a 7.5. I would say a 7.5 on this one. I don't know that it got a whole lot more than that, and it's a little bit of a thin fragrance, so it's not going to overwhelm, which is good, but it will be assertive enough for you to definitely smell it. Super sweet fragrance. Gosh, it's bright and happy and tropical and everything that it needs to be. And how gorgeous is this photo wraparound label? Oh my gosh. Homeworx does that so well. Let's talk about the things I like about the Homeworx for a second. What do I like about Homeworx? I love the shape. I think it's a very unique shape, like the way that they do this broad, like multi-wick kind of situation. I actually kind of like this sort of a candle. I also like the regular or more traditional Yankee style tumbler. I like that too, but I really like the uniqueness of this, and it's a smart design strategy because part of where strength and throw comes from is that diameter. And if you can get that candle to pool in this kind of a diameter, you're gonna get really good strength and throw. This same candle in a 2 wick or in a 1 wick, it would struggle. You are getting 7.5, but that's with 4 wicks. And like I said, I have to say it's just a smart design strategy. They will burn a lot faster. I thought this burn was much better than the ones that I was remembering from 3 or 4 years ago. Like, it was not soot central. It was, and the wicks did a little bit better. So while I've heard from people that there's still improvement that needs to be made in Homeworx, I thought it was an improvement from 3 years ago. The Guava Sunset that I have here was one of the early ones made in Vietnam. This one was poured in January of 2020. So, yeah. Oh gosh, I love Guava Sunset. I love it even more than Tiare. Well, I like them both equally. I really do. That's the other thing that I really love about Homeworx is their fragrance offerings, which many of their fragrance offerings are in my fragrance wheelhouse. So, man, he does beachy tropical stuff so well. And I love beachy and tropical, but often it's not done well. I'm looking at you, Bath and Body Works. It's just not good. It's not good. It's synthetic. It's cheap. Do you know how many times I've heard somebody describe a Bath and Body Works tropical candle as sunscreen? Why does it smell like... No, like it shouldn't smell like sunscreen. Sunscreen, like I know it takes you to like a scent memory and a scent place. That's fine. But like if most of your tropical candles remind you of sunscreen, oh. These are tropical fragrances that smell authentic, fresh, bright, and sophisticated. I'm just impressed. Also, another thing that Homeworx does super well is fruity florals. Again, fantastic. Although this doesn't say that it has fruit in it, it has the vibe of a fruity floral, and Harry Slatkin does those so well. I wouldn't say that I'm a floral person. I'm a botanical person. So I prefer my flowers with something else. And I do prefer like the green element, like the whole organism as a botanical organism. I think it makes for a more balanced candle. Florals, I am a little wary of when they're just like intensely the flower itself. Often goes heavy, perfumey, etc. He has made the choice to go less botanical and to cut his florals with a little bit of a fruity pop. And I just think he does it so well. So between the tropicals and the fruity florals, I'm sold. He does do a lot of gourmands. I'm not a gourmand person. And that was part of the reason why I ended up moving away from Homeworx in the beginning, because I don't do that. And I do trust that he does gourmands really well. But since that's not something I love in my home, it wasn't a good selling point for me. Those are the good things about Homeworx. The things that obviously need a little bit of improvement, it mainly has to do with performance. So I've been tracking what Homeworx people have been saying about the burns, about the wicks, about the scent and throw, etc. Like all of those things need to be worked out. And I would say that the major thing for me that I'd like to see some improvement on is accessibility. I really miss those days when like there were actual candles in Ulta stores that I could smell. That was fantastic. I really wish he would go back to that. Yes, I know they offer them on the website. I would like to see them in the stores. That's what got me ordering them and buying them in the first place. And I just really want to see that, especially because the two main places that they're offered at QVC and on the shop.com website just have issues. You buy something off QVC, you have to usually buy 2 of them. And for many of us, especially who buy candles seriously, that is just way too much. We just want 1 candle as opposed to like 2, usually of the same product. So that's the QVC issue. Shop.com has other issues that were revealed or exposed during the holiday situation, which is to say that getting candles reliably is a real toss-up. It's not good, and apparently it's a fairly hard website to navigate on a regular basis. Melanie from Mr. Comics Mom, who is very much a friend and I think an ambassador for Homeworx, has consistently said, and I think she's absolutely correct, it's not hard to fix that problem. Why can't you just hire people to like make the website a better situation? Yeah, it may take a little bit of money, but it's a much easier fix than, say, moving your distribution centers from Vietnam or something like that. So I would say that accessibility is gonna be the easiest fix for Homeworx, and the one that if they have to tackle one of them, surely that has to be one of the first ones. I would like to see some candles in Ulta. That's just my little thing. Oh, I do have a lot of winter candles, so you're gonna see them because Macy's carries them and clearanced a lot of them off in the early spring. So I got a ton of these, but obviously I'm not gonna burn them till fall and winter. So stay tuned. There will still be some Homeworx on this channel. I'm still looking out in Marshalls and Home Goods. If I see one that I like, I'm gonna pick it up. But I'm a little bit of a ways from like being a devoted, dedicated Homeworx shopper and consistently ordering off of their websites. This one smells good. I don't like this band thing. This is not good. But these photorealistic wraparounds, gorgeous, beautiful. I think they may have one of the nicest labels in the business. So they've really got a lot of things going for them. I highly recommend Tiare Sunrise. So if you see it in Marshalls, it performed well for me. It may have performed better 4 years ago. I don't know. But 7.5, I'll take it. I'll take it. And maybe you'll see some Homeworx going forward. This is available, by the way, if you don't find it in Marshalls or Home Goods, it is available on QVC, not the shop.com, but it is available at QVC for like, I think $44 or something, and you get 2 of them. I'm tempted because I do think this is a candle you could have 2 of, for sure. It's special. I have it on my wish list on QVC, so when it drops down, I may get the 2 from QVC. That's all I've got for you. Maybe you'll see some Homeworx in the future. I'll see you in the next one.